So what happens when a state-of-the-art, multi-million-dollar stealth fighter goes down deep inside enemy territory? Well, it turns out the US military is willing to risk pretty much everything. We're talking dozens of aircraft, hundreds of elite soldiers, and a price tag that's just staggering, all to uphold one single sacred promise. You've heard the phrase, right? Leave no man behind. For the US military, this isn't just some catchy slogan. It means they will literally move heaven and earth, sending an armada of aircraft and over 100 of their most elite operators deep into hostile territory, all to bring one person home. But what happens when that simple promise spirals into absolute chaos? Let's get into it, because this is the story of a rescue mission that went so sideways, the rescuers themselves ended up needing to be saved, turning what should have been a straightforward extraction into a desperate running battle for survival. Okay, so our story begins in the dead of night, over the jagged, unforgiving peaks of the Zagros Mountains in Iran. An F-15E Strike Eagle is on a supercritical mission, but a single, split-second decision is about to put its entire crew in mortal danger. So put yourself in the pilot's seat. It's 2:15 in the morning. Your Strike Eagle is screaming through the valleys, hugging the terrain, using the mountains themselves to hide from long-range radar. But your target is a buried bunker, and to hit it, you have to go up. The second you pop up over that ridge, bam, you're exposed. A hidden Iranian Tora mobile missile system, just waiting for that exact moment, gets an instant lock. The crew has no time, no choice. They have to eject into the cold, dark night. You see, it's this deadly game of hide and seek. Down in the valleys, the jet is basically invisible to Iran's main air defense network. But the second you climb, you're on the radar of all these smaller, mobile anti-aircraft units hidden in the mountains. The pilots made a calculated risk to get the mission done, and this time, the house won. The pilot actually gets picked up pretty quickly, but his backseater, the weapons systems officer, or WSO, he's in serious trouble. He's injured, but his survival training just kicks right in. He manages to climb a 7,000-foot ridge to get a clear radio signal. He has to be smart, though. He only turns on his beacon for a few seconds at a time because he knows Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, has teams out there hunting for that very signal. So with the WSO's beacon active, a rescue mission immediately spins up. But this is where the situation goes from just plain bad to catastrophically worse. The very first attempt to save him is about to trigger an ambush, turning the rescuers into survivors. Now, because the crash happens so close to the border, the nearest available aircraft is diverted to help out, and it happens to be an A-10 Warthog. Its job is to perform what's called a rescort mission, basically fly a protective circle around the crash site and make sure any enemy ground forces keep their heads down. The A-10 dives in, and its legendary 30mm cannon just obliterates an enemy convoy. But here's the thing. The noise, the smoke, the tracers from that attack, it gives away its position. In the chaos of trying to save someone, the rescuer has just become the target. And the threat comes from a manpads, a shoulder-fired missile. An Iranian soldier on the ground takes a shot. And at that low altitude, the A-10's countermeasures just don't have time to work. The missile slams into one of its engines, shredding it. Even the Warthog's legendary armor can only take so much punishment. The pilot just manages to point the dying jet away from the mountains before he has to punch out. So now we have 2 American pilots down. A dedicated combat search and rescue team is launched. But as one of their helicopters, call sign Pedro 12, is providing cover for the A-10 pilot's rescue, a hidden anti-aircraft gun opens up on them. The rescue mission has been ambushed. Again. But way up high, totally unseen, an asset is watching this whole thing unfold. An F-35, flying in full stealth mode, gets the call for help. It releases a single precision bomb that travels miles, perfectly striking and silencing that enemy gun, clearing a path for the remaining helicopter to get the crews and get the heck out of there. Okay, but remember, the original F-15 WSO is still out there. He's wounded, he's alone, and the first rescue attempt was a total disaster. U.S. forces need a whole new plan. And more than anything, they need to buy some time. So the CIA launches this massive disinformation campaign. They start leaking rumors that the WSO has already been found and is being secretly smuggled out on the ground. This whole phantom rescue works like a charm. It sends Iranian search parties on a wild goose chase, giving the U.S. military the precious window it needs to plan a massive, overwhelming extraction. With the Iranians busy chasing a ghost, the U.S. military prepares for the real show, a full-scale special operations raid deep inside Iran to go get their guy. I mean, just look at this. The mission is a huge, coordinated effort. The sky is filled with an invisible armada. You've got Reaper drones providing surveillance, EA-18 Growlers jamming enemy radar, and HC-130 Combat Kings acting as flying command posts, all of it just to clear a safe path for the rescue helicopters. And on the ground, they are sending in the absolute tip of the spear, Delta Force and SEAL Team 6. These are the most elite operators in the entire U.S. military, flown in on these nimble little bird helicopters that are perfect for navigating that treacherous mountain terrain. But that deception couldn't last forever. Just as the Special Forces finally reach the WSO, the IRGC realizes they've been tricked, and they converge on that ridge. What follows is just an absolute slugfest, an hours-long firefight with the operators completely surrounded, taking fire from all sides. It is only thanks to overwhelming air support from A-10s and helicopter gunships that they are able to hold the line. They got him. The WSO is finally on a helicopter and out of the hot zone, but the mission still isn't over. As the entire force regroups at this secret makeshift landing strip inside Iran, disaster strikes again. 2 of their C-130 transport planes are now disabled and can't take off. The cost of just these 2 planes is, well, it's staggering. So the commander on the ground has to make a brutal but necessary call: destroy the planes. It's a scorched earth policy. They simply cannot risk any of that sensitive technology falling into Iranian hands. You see, the principle of leave no man behind now extends to leaving no secrets behind either. The WSO is safe, but the mission exposed a really shocking vulnerability. During the operation, one of the F-35s providing that critical overwatch was also hit, proving that even America's most advanced, most expensive stealth fighter isn't invincible. It was a sobering lesson for the future of air combat. You see, the F-35 is an engineering marvel designed to be invisible to radar. Its angled surfaces, its special coatings, they're all made to deflect radar waves away. But there's one thing it just can't hide: its own heat. Its engine is one of the most powerful in the world, and it creates a massive thermal signature, a plume of heat that's like a giant neon sign for a completely different kind of sensor. And that sensor is called an Infrared Search and Track System, or IRST. Now, unlike radar, which actively sends out a signal and waits for it to bounce back, IRST is passive. It just looks for heat. And what this means is that it can detect and track a stealth fighter without the pilot ever getting a warning that they've been locked onto. This entire operation, from one downed pilot to a multi-billion-dollar rescue involving hundreds of people and a massive air armada, it just shows the incredible lengths the military will go to uphold its promise. But it also reveals a fundamental truth about modern warfare. It is a constant, relentless technological arms race. And it really leaves us with a critical question. In a world where sensors can see heat as clearly as they see light, is true invisibility even possible anymore?